Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
Hey, everyone in, let's go. Huddle up on three. 1, 2, 3, huddle up.
Y'all ain't got no play football before. These guys are nothing.
You hear me?
They breathe just like we do.
Yes, sir.
They sweat just like we do.
Do you hear me?
They went through tour days. We went through tour days in 110-degree heat.
Yes, sir.
I want you to hit everything to move. If the ref gets in your way, you hit him.
Okay, then, let's play.
But they're cheating us too. They're against us too. This is our team. This is us. Let's go right now. Let's get it up now. Let's go.
Back-to-back, man. You do not see this in college football.
But the Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory, Georgia, as the fight song says.
For the lead. Butker up, got it. And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57. And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Huddle Up Podcast. We are back. We are live. It is October the 10th, 2023, and we are glad to be back with you for another one. If you're with us on the live show, give us a like and a share. We would certainly appreciate that. Get as many people in here and interacting with the show as possible. Still no Matt this week. Devin joining us back in the comments. Devin, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a good week. But we press on nonetheless. I'm sure Mikey B will be joining us in the comments. But we do have the gruesome twosome. It is Ernest EJ Christian. It is student of the game Kyle Nash joining us. EJ, how we doing tonight, my friend?
This is kind of pathetic now. This is like, what, 4 weeks in a row we'll have the full four of us in the same room. Like, Matt's been gone a couple weeks. Kyle missed a week. I get it.
Look,
Hey,
man.
listen,
I mean, listen, what's going on here?
You're out sports debate show on Sartopa Media.
No, I'm not saying you're not busy. You're doing your thing, and I'm with you on that. I support that, of course. You know, but like, what's going on?
Again,
You know
I
what
don't think the guy that missed the last 3 live episodes of the season last year.
Again, I told you
Keep
can't
talking.
use last year. You cannot continue using that, Jim. Okay, stop.
Yes.
Money.
Okay, Trump. Okay, calm down. All right, calm down, Trump.
You know, listen, I'm glad to see this much fun about all the people here in the Huddle Up family. That's
Family.
fantastic.
Family.
You know, but listen, Jim makes a point. And you forgot, Jim, the rules are that we get you stuff from last year, but rest assured, Tool Time certainly can.
By the way, nice goatee there. I meant to tell you earlier on my podcast today, Kyle. Nice little
Goatee, that's 2 days of not having time to effing shave. What are you talking about?
Good Lord.
Welcome to
Kyle,
Life.
how are you doing, my friend?
Welcome to Life in the Mediterraneanness. By the way, Jim, speaking of family, boy, is it great to see all the teams that I pick against that you cheer for.
Dang.
Hey, listen. I want the record to show that you've been a real sport, even despite the fact that your college team had such a terrible conference. Oh, so much for
Sport. Kyle,
fine. Then
sport.
take that. I know why you're bitter. Your team had a conference loss. Okay, there it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jim's a good sport.
Like I said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's all.
Hey, at least he knows what fanhood is, right, mercenary? Moving on.
I said what I said.
So did I.
Devin, I appreciate it. He said he's not watching the Orioles because he seemed like he's a curse. Well, they're losing 3-0. So apparently it's not your
Shit.
apparently it's not your fault, man. It's just it is what it is.
Mr. Brightside, Jim handling the business.
Hey man, it is what it is. Like am I bummed by what's happening with the Orioles? Sure, but this team arrived a year early. You know, whatever. I got my
And hockey season, buddy.
Capitals play on Friday.
Bam!
Puck drop tonight on the new season.
Yep.
Certainly some thoughts about what the NHL is doing on some sides of it, but maybe I'll record an observations when this is over and get some of those thoughts out. But
Here's a hint, there's a reason we call him Woke Jim. Anyway,
nonetheless,
Observation also knows therapy for Jim now.
But
I'm mad at it.
this week there it is.
Yeah,
My
oh, yeah.
God,
Looking forward to it.
brutal.
Hey, who are you to talk about therapy on a podcast, bitch? At least he acknowledges it.
I do all the time too. You kidding me? You talking about my
Dan Levitard listens to you and say, "Keep to the goddamn point, son." Anyways,
Goodness sakes. All right, let's go to this, though, as we do each and every week to start off the show. Three things about a previous sports weekend. There's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly. And we're gonna give our thoughts on that. EJ, let's start with you. What was good this past
in Jim's
weekend?
case this weekend was all ugly, right? I'm sure. Or bad.
Well, I found a way to find some good in there.
Well, my good, I'm gonna pick on you. My good is actually is you watching your Twitter feed for the last, but not just on Sunday, but even back to Saturday in Notre Dame.
Man, just
Jesus, Jim. My good.
why are you obsessed with me? That's all I want to know. I don't have
no. You deserve this. You deserve this, Jim. Let me tell you why. You and you motherfuckers here texting me, give me shit on the Giants, Daniel Jones, paying the guy, all that shit.
Whoa. Who gives you shit about the Giants? I know you're not a Giants fan.
Shut your mouth. Shut your ass, Kyle, right now. I'm talking right now. All right? Jim, give me shit for the whole year off the Giants, isn't that? Who's laughing now?
Me.
What are you laughing about? The Giants still suck.
But I accept that. But I accept that a long time ago.
Weekend. Like, what are you celebrating?
I accept that a long time ago. You suffered with the Irish.
What you're celebrating?
Cowboys. Your EKG on Twitter feed or X feed, what I want to call it today.
It's Twitter.
It's, okay.
It's still
Sorry,
Twitter.
Twitter, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, like, why do we go through this every week? It's Twitter. The website is still twitter.com.
Yes, but EJ is that desperate to have the cred of a former 90s rapper of great skill. So he's going to send you a direct message. It'll be known as a DMX. Anyways, continue. It's still just as good the second time, right?
It's a good second time, brother.
Like Brian Daboll was supposed to be the savior.
Oh, he was a savior last year. But again, as we said, say on the show earlier, okay, I look like Trump told my hands now. Okay, that was last year.
Have you seen that account that like superimposes an accordion onto him?
Daboll last year, coach of the year. The best.
It's the funniest thing.
The greatest thing ever.
No, but they make accordion sounds when his hands going out.
Yep. Daboll last year, coach of the year. Still with it. Still saying it. Cool. That's last year. This year, he sucks. This year, that team sucks.
Right. So that makes last year's coach of the year even more egregious because he's not actually good.
Whatever to you, Jim.
Thank you for helping me because now I feel better that even though my team got their shit kicked in this weekend, it could be a lot worse. Thank you, EJ. I do appreciate that.
That's what I'm saying. Stop whining about it. Stop crying about the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Irish. Your teams are fine, okay? Are you going to beat San Francisco in the playoffs? Probably not. But you know what, though? You're still a playoff team. Calm down. I can't find 5 more wins on the schedule. Stop it.
I mean, come on, more on that later. We'll talk about it. Later. It's accurate. What was that? Facts don't care about your feelings. Is that what you tried to
invoke? No, here he comes.
Is that what you tried to invoke on me on your podcast? But Kyle, what was good for you this past weekend besides this?
I was like, who the hell needs the weekend? I got this. And God damn it, I left the popcorn in the other room again.
No, that's a rookie mistake.
That's your bad, brother.
Especially after what happened to you in the conference loss and all of that. Listen, I know you've already probably accounted. Exactly. I know you've probably accounted for it. I could pick plenty of other things, but cue up the Simpson. I'm going to do what you expect me to do here.
Homer.
Man, that was some quality football by the 49ers. And I don't care how many boys call ref on the first Kittle touchdown or whoever that is. At the end of the day, the dominance was way bigger than that single play.
Yeah, and you know this. It was. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, I'm not really – I want to do something that the public needs to do. Maybe prop the 49ers that aren't named Brock Purdy. Can we understand for just a minute how complete that roster is? What a great time that was all the way around. And listen, you saw me do my Clint Eastwood eye. This conference ain't big enough for the two of us. It certainly wasn't big enough for the three of you, including AJ Christian, Super Bowl bound Cowboys. Hey, remember the last time he did that 2 years ago, Jim, and it got him labeled as a Cowboy fan? Oh. We're back, bitches. It's the sequel. So with all that in mind,
EJ,
I blame you.
Oh, it won't be the first time.
You know, But listen, I say this in all seriousness. I like the comparisons of Brock Purdy to young Dak Prescott, and that evolution.
I'm sorry about your future then.
Well, hey, it. Here's the thing. He's got a lot more weapons than Dak did at that time, and won't have the buzzsaw of Aaron Rodgers in his way in an NFC conference playoff game. So, I'm liking it. So far as he gets the opportunity to play an entire game against the Eagles, it'll be a fun contest to watch. Listen, maybe he won't win, but I'm here for an excellent season. And yeah, listen, the Cowboys are who I thought they were. I thought at one point I picked them to win 10 games. I looked back at my Excel sheet. I picked them to win 8. So, you
actually might have that number pretty spot on, Kyle. You know what? My good from this past weekend, we can make jokes.
We have made jokes, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
We can make jokes about the Denver Broncos all we want. And by all means,
the Denver Broncos.
By all means, make the jokes. But those white helmets with those orange uniforms, man, that was a good look.
You're not wrong.
That was a real good look.
Pretty good, yeah.
But also Georgia Tech making the U pay for one of the most idiotic time management calls and costing Miami to lose that game was pretty awesome as well.
That's going to hurt you on your schedule later if you're truly cheering for your well, I could make an ACC joke here, but this impacts both of you tangentially to opponents on your schedule.
Yeah,
wow. Notre Dame doesn't play Georgia Tech or Miami.
No, you're in ACC,
they play Duke. And so if Miami was better and Duke beat them, that helps you.
I mean, Notre Dame.
Essentially, at
best, Notre Dame will finish 10-2 at best.
It impacts me more at this point.
Right. So Miami losing has no real impact on Notre Dame anymore.
Okay. Well, okay. Here, I'm just trying to find the positive. But listen, at the end of the day, be careful.
Keep digging.
Be careful with that 10 game win prediction there, because there's only one person in the Notre Dame family that's known in particular for 10-win games. Remember that.
Wow.
He didn't like that one.
Again, I have never. I am always acknowledging what Brian Kelly did for Notre Dame.
And you have. I thought it was a bit. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. All right.
And in fairness, when all the Notre Dame fans were being stupid and calling for the firing, you were always one of the smarter ones on that. That has to be acknowledged. You understood that Mr. Family himself was the only Notre Dame coach to have 4 10-win seasons, and nobody else. You acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
That's why you hate him like he's that one uncle in your family. I get it.
Well, I mean, when you do things that deserve to be ridiculed, then so be it. Kyle, what was your bad from this past weekend?
A lot of directions I can go, but I'm going to actually go after one that I think was adequately punished the way it was in the college football rankings.
Oh,
play some defense, USC. What the F?
Oof, bad.
Yeah, they are getting penalized though.
I mean, yeah, and they are, and I'm glad for it, but
rightly so.
Yeah, thank you, Joel, Jim. Anyway,
Jim,
Billy Joel.
No,
So what is that?
No,
say that again, and you'll be moving out.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna feed you
so
to the
petty.
I'm gonna feed you to the
Billy Joel song, EJ. Come on.
I'm gonna feed you to the crocodiles. You did not rock right there. Okay, there. Those are references, Jim. Right? We're on the page.
There we go.
Yeah. I hated it very much. Not great, Bob. That's how it left me feeling.
Yeah.
I could be all super homer, bad me having to sit through UCF getting kerplunked.
Homer.
By Kansas, as I had to cover that game for the Black and Gold Banneret and play therapist for the UCF fanhood. But no, I'm going to pick USC as something nationally relevant. And after I prop them up to win the Pac-12 and be a playoff candidate.
Hey, guy did miss Devin. He said his good was the Dolphins bouncing back from losing to the Bills by kind of
EJ,
EJ, what was your bad from this past weekend?
My bad is actually I have to apologize to one Kyle Christian Nash here. I apologize to you. They were who we thought they were. They were who we thought they were.
But they are who we thought they were.
The Washington Commanders. You lose 40-20.
Morningstar.
Chicago, the team that was the worst on my rankings. Up in a while.
Oh.
Trying to tell you about your weakness.
Jim got soul for the
They
record.
lost to the Bears, man.
The
home.
the number 33 team on my rankings last week. I say 33 because 32 was Georgia. Okay. But seriously, yeah, what the fuck was that? I didn't watch 1 minute of that game for the record. But the fact 40-20 at home.
Hey, man, Sam Howell got me the fantasy points I needed out of him, so it didn't matter.
Hey, because at the end of the day, gentlemen, you can't spell Howell without a number of L's. I'm just
and he needs more than 2 at this point.
well, that would be Samuel Howell.
There you go.
Oh,
What can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude.
Commanders.
Washington stinks. How
Out
long
loud and in silence.
until Ron Rivera gets fired? Seriously.
Oh no, he's done for this year, regardless.
Does he get fired beforehand?
No. They'll play it out. They'll play it out.
No, that would be a bad look. I agree.
He has 1 more year's contract, and at this point, I don't even hear anything about negotiations happening either. To be honest with you, so
Nah, there's no. I don't think there'll be negotiations. Which EJ, I'm glad you took Washington off the table because that leaves me to my bed. The hell was Iowa State thinking with these pants?
the fuck is this?
Iowa State, and if you're only listening on the podcast side, I recommend you go to our YouTube channel or Facebook page or Twitter page right at this timestamp.
That was in 1657, Jim.
Iowa State wore throwback uniforms with what tried to be an attempt at the old brown or tan pants. Just looked like a bunch of naked white dudes or pantsless white dudes out on the field. Yeah, who thought that was a good idea?
How about no? Not
Yeah.
great, Bob.
Yeah, that one.
Not great, Bob.
No.
Yeah, that one probably should have been a rethink. Somebody didn't plan.
They look like the Seminoles with different helmets. Anyway,
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's a not fam moment there.
You did that already.
Nah, fam, we're good.
It wasn't good. Wasn't good. All right. I mean, this one could have made that one could have probably made somebody's ugly. But EJ, what was your ugly?
What does 72-3 mean to you? You guys, the ugly?
The score the Niners could have beaten the Cowboys by probably.
Oh, I had nothing to do with that at all.
Okay, so 72-3, yeah, is the last 2 weeks the Patriots have played football and got outscored.
Not great, Bob.
Not great,
dude. It is bad.
Oh,
I
wait,
mean,
Bob Kraft, it works. Well done.
yes, yeah, it does. Yeah, there you go.
Thing sucks.
And let me tell you, man, Pats fans are go ahead. What was he gonna say?
They're going
I'm laughing at producer Jim doing his damn job so well again.
No, and you go on my timeline and see Pats fans up and down the Twitter, up and down the Facebook, the Instagram. They are going through it, and honestly, no one gives a flying fuck. Okay, you've had 20+ years of success. No one gives a shit. Eat this shit. This is what happens to real teams.
Oh, I don't feel bad for Packers fans that are going through it either right now.
Great quarterbacks, yeah, no doubt.
But that being said, though, we have to discuss this now at a glance with the Pats. I think it's safe to say the Mac Jones era is pretty much coming to an end. I think we're gonna at this point move past that, barring a miracle finish of the year. Bill Belichick, what's next? Is he on the hot seat? Is he? What do you think?
Here's the thing. I think that there's no way he gets fired. I've seen Pats fans and other football fans going, should the Patriots fire Bill Belichick? No. A guy who's done what he's done for that organization is not going to get fired and shouldn't get fired. Now, do I think that they should kind of play out the season and give him an ultimatum in one form or another? Possibly. Do I think that he is probably just considering retirement? Possibly.
That's actually a great point.
like, so I think that's more what we're looking at here. I think because what similar to the Ron Rivera situation, what good for this Patriots team over the remaining couple of months of this season is firing Bill Belichick going to do? Nothing.
Well, I have a response, but more on that later. Go ahead, Jim.
But so you play it out. You don't you don't execute the guy in town square in front of God in the world. You let him leave with dignity, as I think he should. And yeah, I think it's probably more, guys, I'm really old. It's time to go home.
It's on to Valhalla.
I doubt he's lost his zest for the game, though. Honestly, I just think it's a situation where
he's
trying. Yeah,
no, but there comes a point where you have a strike of reality.
I think stops being fun is the unique thing at that level is that phrase. It stops being fun. Now, here's where I think I can kind of, and EJ will call it straddling the fence, but in this case, this is the reality of the situation. Jim, you nailed it. I know people are talking about, well, he may still catch up to Don Shula. Doubtful, unless he starts another really good gets another really good run going in different colors. I'm not going to, it's on the board. I'm not prepared to rule it out, but by the same token, who would take him? Chicago? I don't know. Anyways, am I firing shots at Eberflus? You're damn right. Anyways, here's the punchline. I doubt they'll take him in LA because the Spanoses won't pay him. Anyways,
cheap asses.
That was just for you, EJ.
Yep.
When EJ asks, is Bill on the hot seat? It's not that simple. Which Bill are we talking about? Are we talking about greatest coach of all time, cheater coach Bill Belichick, as stated by Matt Stone and Trey Parker? Hashtag South Park. Or are we referring to GM Bill Belichick? Because I know that should be fine now. Okay? And I think that's the way, and I might have alluded as much here on the Student the Game Report on the Earnestly Speaking podcast. Bing! With all that in mind, I think GM Bill Belichick is not only on the hot seat, but in fact is sitting naked on the chair, scolding with third-degree burns because his pants are gone. That's how much fire there is on the chair.
So he's wearing Iowa State pants.
Damn. Wasn't ready. Sorry.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah, no, that I think is probably pretty accurate too. Is obviously they gave him a ton of power, and why wouldn't you? But at some point you got to get your organization back.
Yeah, but if he refuses that deal, it's like, why would I do that? No, I don't want to give up power. Well, I'm
the general manager.
Yeah, right. Well, then when they fire Zach Taylor, they could put in the papers when they, being Cincinnati, fire Zach Taylor. Not that they will. Just let me roll the joke. If Cincinnati fires if the Bengals fire Zach Taylor. God damn it, Jimmy! Remember the fucking punchline?
That was so good.
At any rate, yeah. So, if Bill refuses that, Bob Kraft can play the media against him. Listen, we told him that he could leak it, if you will. The Boston media will entirely lose their shit. Oh, they gave him a chance. Something like that. And then at the end of the day, once Belichick is fired, he'll only have left to say, I'm on to Cincinnati. So at that point, God damn it, Jim. So, yeah, I mean, but that I say all that colorfully to say, leaving in Bill Belichick's hands is the best move for me.
Yeah. And if he doesn't want to play along, then
you need to leave.
Where's that from, by the way, that soundbite?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. Matt just offered it up one day. Kyle, what was your ugly from the weekend?
Jim, here's the thing. My ugly is in your good as an offensive lineman. Also as somebody who covered Matt Lee at UCF and watched him do fantastic work. To watch him on the sidelines weep as he was a victim to the stupidity of Cristobal is for me was absolutely ugly and obscene to see. I just hated to watch that young man in that particular condition. But since you didn't go all woke Jim on anything yet, I'll do it for you. No, I won't. I'll let you do it because you're probably going to do it yourself.
I I'm not, for the record, but okay.
Oh, it is called Huddle Up. I can see why you wouldn't. You know what's ugly? Devin having his ugly be about baseball in the middle of a show called Huddle Up. That's ugly. I'm kidding, Devin. I'm kidding.
No, it is accurate though. The Orioles.
No one's saying anything about the accuracy.
That is a bad spot, but
you know, for me, what was ugly was having to watch the refs blow another call of something that was an obvious sack. Watch Josh Allen tap his helmet like a little bitch and then throw a flag. That was disgusting. Anybody else see that in London? I don't know. Maybe it happened too early for you, but look out for it on Twitter. Absolutely disgusting. The officials do have the ability to make a judgment call, and they did not do it, and they are awful for it. And the Bills still lost, so bleep them.
Unfortunately, I was drunk about mimosas in the early morning, so.
You would be, Swifty.
By
the way, I'm not saying you're an Eagles fan either. That's a DeAndre Swift reference. You wouldn't know.
I got that. Stop.
No, you don't.
Oh, got it.
That's the joke.
God damn it, Jim.
Well, I had two uglies to pick from this weekend, if I'm being totally honest. My ugliest of ugly was Sunday night with the Cowboys. I mean, it was and I did this because I listened to the Student of the Game report on the Earnestly Speaking podcast earlier today, and you were having the talk about the number of wins left on that schedule. So, and again, it's not discrediting how good the Niners are. The thing that makes this as ugly as it was for me is the Cowboys fans were told all summer the moves that they made were for this game. That decisions they made in the offseason were for this game because they were tired of losing to this team, right? Like that's
just like the Packers have been in the past, Jim.
Right, like that's the thing that we were told for since the season ended in in Santa Clara last year. And then leading up to this week, we had a great week of practice. And then Mike McCarthy said that Saturday's practice was crisp and the team was ready to go. And that is what ready to go looks like. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here, right? Like, I mean,
what the fuck happened?
Like,
that being said, Jim, here's the good news for the Cowboys. It's only week 5. You can turn things around. Look, dude. Now, do I think right now, based on what we've seen, they're going to beat San Francisco in the future? Probably not.
No.
Doesn't mean that won't happen. It could happen.
Why? So, why?
Oh,
why?
you did this. Oh, you did this. Oh,
like why? And that's the thing is
hold
like,
hold on. Full stop, Jim. This is a great graphic and fantastic job.
The graphic is from the Cowboys directly. This is the graphic itself is not my work. The red W's and L's are, but the graphic itself is
Those
not
L's
mine.
are very well shaped. I can see how you.
We won't speak on the first one. The first W. Go ahead.
But like, you know, and I understand press conference talk, so I'm not gonna get mad at Dak or McCarthy or Parsons or anybody that on press conference talk. However, Micah Parsons going on his podcast and running his mouth about it being personal, that's where I draw a little bit of a line because, dude, this team had the opportunity to show like, okay, so what happens next time? What is going to be so different between October the 8th and January the whatever, right?
Well, for one, your team may not be playing.
Correct. But like, let's just pretend that they are, okay?
Fair enough.
So, like, let's pretend that like the third week of January, the Cowboys go back to Santa Clara. What between now and then is going to change? That all of a sudden makes them a better team, barring injuries.
Trey Lance quarterback.
You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck? Like, what? Like, what? There's nothing.
Good job.
Like, we spent the off season getting better. You think we're gonna get better during the season? No, I don't.
Lay it out, Joe.
Listen, I offer you great news in that chances are when you get eliminated in the playoffs, it probably won't be by the 49ers because they'll have the top bye.
Well, that's true because
But
Depending
listen,
who the Cowboys play, they probably wouldn't win.
Jim, you're taking one out of the Packers playbook, right? Last year, they got so sick of getting eliminated by the 49ers that they just decided to miss the playoffs outright.
Fuck it.
The whole fucking experience.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys aren't going to have the they're not going to have the privilege of playing a Buccaneers team with a losing record.
Well,
this year in the first round.
I was hoping for being declarative of that was a bold strategy, but sure, whatever.
But I will say this though, when I mentioned in my podcast about the 5 wins, like when you said that on Twitter on Sunday, my first reaction was, "Stop, Jim! You're too close situation. Back away. You're a fan. You're gonna look at that." Then we look at this. I look at the schedule that same night. I'm like, "Whoa, wait a second, Jim might be onto something here." And as we go through the schedule now, in front of us.
Well, we have it in front of us here, but Jim, for those, or excuse me, EJ, for those that are listening to the podcast, what are the 5 wins you have here? I'll help you since we don't have a Giants fan on the panel. That'll be one of the Cowboys wins. I feel confident with that.
Okay, so let's go through the games. Now they have this upcoming Monday against the Chargers.
I got it as a win still.
That's possible. Kellen Moore revenge game.
The problem is it's a push. Like
yes.
Earlier in the year, I would have said, "Oh, that's a win." This is now a push.
Okay, cool.
And they have the bye week. Coming out of that, they have the Rams.
That's
the one I think
that's
that's the
push.
trap game. That's the trap game though. That's the push game. Yeah.
Why? Wait. Why is it a trap?
Well, the Rams are frisky as hell right now.
Incorrect.
But
the real reason
they're looking ahead to Philly is the correct answer.
That's a trap. That's an actual trap game. Don't be the lamestream media. Declare what the trap is, EJ Christian. Be better. Continue.
I'm more confident in beating the Chargers than beating the Rams, honestly.
I would agree with that, but
I don't. Kellen Moore revenge.
Who's the coach again? Brandon Staley?
Yes, but it's Kellen Moore's revenge.
Okay. God bless you, Brandon Staley.
You snicker all you want, Jim, but you wanted that man fired into the sun, and he remembers that.
Great. Yeah. Good for him. And again, I'm sitting here saying that it's not a lock for a W either, by any means, especially after what happened last week.
But by the way, after talking all that trash, Jim, I do agree. I think the Rams are the bigger trash.
Yes, the Rams are a tougher play.
Right.
Eagles are a loss on November 5th.
Let's stop that second, though. Is that in Philadelphia? Is that home?
That one's in Philly.
Okay, if you look at the graphic here, the dark ones are away in the blue.
Right,
ones.
Okay, I just noticed that now. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Rating is fundamental, tool.
Sorry. So let me make. I made a point of something on my podcast earlier today. About the Eagles game. So last year, we didn't see one Eagles-Cowboys game with teams at full strength.
Correct.
First game, we had Cooper Rush starting quarterback for the Cowboys. Second game, we had
Riptide Rush. Get it right.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Offended. I apologize. Second game, you had who was the backup? Gardner Minshew, the Eagles quarterback. So we haven't seen the Eagles-Cowboys at full strength in 2 years. So we actually don't even know how they measure up as a team right now at full strength.
I know how they measure up. The Eagles are a better team.
Okay, we say that right now, but you still got to play the game. I agree the Eagles are a better team on paper. You got to play the game still.
What
you always have to play
his way through is the law of division rivalry.
That too, also.
He's absolutely
to win the game.
Exactly.
On top of everything else.
In Philly, I'm going no question. This is an Eagles win.
Oh,
there's a loss.
Okay, we can go with that. Yeah, it's fine.
Bye week. Then you have Giants, Panthers.
Bye week.
Those are 2 definite wins.
2 bye weeks.
Then you have Washington. That is a Thanksgiving game.
That's a win.
Should be.
Do you think they take both Washington games or do they split?
The last one's hard to tell because they play week 18, and depending how seeding and stuff sits out. Now the way it's looking, the Cowboys will probably have to play both at full strength. I will take the home game as a win.
Yeah.
Even though those Thanksgiving games, for some dumb reason, especially against divisional opponents, get silly and stupid.
Listen, sometimes the Cowboys go completely off and do excellent on Thanksgiving.
This is true.
You
after
really
this,
never know what you're going to get.
This is true. But after what we saw on Thursday with these same Sam Howells with 4 L's now, I think we're safe to say that
it's Samuel with 2 L's. That's right.
They are who we thought they were.
Correct.
What's this wee shit, Chief?
Seattle on November 30th.
That's a big game. That's a huge game.
Today, I feel like that's a loss. I
agree.
That's a home game. That's to me, that's a win for me.
Yeah, I'm not confident in that.
But please, and to Jim's point, how many pushes are here, man? Like, listen,
Correct.
if you had any more pushing going on, Salt and Pepper would be the background music.
Is that Monday Football also too? Monday Night Football?
No, that would be that's a Thursday night football.
Okay. Short week for Seattle.
Yeah, no, because they have Thanksgiving.
For Seattle, I'm saying.
Oh, for Seattle, yes.
So again, Dallas win.
Disagree. It's not a lock. Again, that's more in line with a push, but I'll go Seattle.
He's seen Dak making some mistakes, is what I'm thinking.
Correct.
Okay.
December 10th against Philly. That is at home on Sunday Night Football.
How about no?
Yeah, I'm still gonna say loss. Like the Eagles, especially by that point. Like if you look at last year, like that team really started to find itself at that point of the year. You have 2 new coordinators this year. They're probably going to be cooking pretty good by that point.
Let's see how they look at the Eagles at that point. If they're still vulnerable by then.
Well, yeah, but we're sitting here today, playing this out. Buffalo in December, loss.
By the way, Jim, I have to step in for all the resistance I gave you on Diggs being that big an impact. That single game right there is the one where you're going to feel it the most.
Kyle,
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
I listen. That's an appropriate listen. For the record, that's an appropriate use of the Morning Star, and I will take the flailing in question.
What can I say except you're welcome?
December 24th at Miami. I'm gonna go loss on that one.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Final home game of the year, December 30th against the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna take a loss on that one.
I figured you would, Homer. Wait,
is there any
Marge?
Is there any objection?
None.
And then
no. EJ's going to object.
I'm going to object. I already told you right now.
Game report on the Earnestly Speaking podcast. Bing.
Bing.
He's still trying to stand for his Cowboys being better than the Lions, and then wonders why we don't think he's a Giants fan.
Right now, look,
the truth.
See me in November, but right now I believe that the Dallas is still better than Detroit.
They are not.
Okay, we'll see. Well, we'll know more December 30th, right? Won't we?
I mean, we'll know before December 30th, but sure, we'll know December 30th. And then the away game at Washington, I'll call it a win, but it's more of a push in my opinion.
You were so depressed, Jim. You were so depressing. I swear.
If there's a situation where the Cowboys need that game to extend, I think you get extra effort from the Commanders.
Absolutely.
And they shoot down your chances. If they can play spoiler, you're screwed, buddy.
Because again, I mean, by that point of the year, now the Cowboys, keep in mind, had all 5 of their best offensive linemen healthy for this past Sunday. And that did a whole shit of good, didn't it? They are not all going to be healthy by the time we get to January.
Right. But Kyle, you're talking about the same team that lost to Justin Fields and the Bears on a short week. So, yeah, whatever. Faith in that one, buddy.
That's really your best answer?
They had
that's my best one.
Working for them, man.
I mean, that's a great point, actually.
Were they even aware of that? Because it happened like literally an hour before kickoff.
It came out that evening. Late afternoon that came out.
Jackass.
You don't like, here's the thing. Washington not good, Bears also not good. But if you don't think that there was extra motivation in that Bears locker room to not go out and get embarrassed the night that one of your most famous and legendary players passes away, like there was extra there for them.
I'll say this.
That's a little overrated.
Buckers, I know for a fact that I wasn't going to go out there that night and be a bitch, simply put.
Yeah. So the definite wins on this Cowboy schedule we had as Giants, Panthers, 1 Washington.
So basically, failure. They got suck. Fire McCarthy. Fire Jack.
Let's even give EJ's favorite coach in LA in the Chargers a loss to the Cowboys this Monday. So there's 4 definite. Let's say you win that other game with Washington. There's your 5.
It's 8.
That's an 8 and 9 season, but also like in that there's like that Chargers game push, Rams game push, Washington push, Seattle push. Like, yeah.
Oh can we stop? You guys are winning 10 fucking games. Stop. 10 wins plus. That's it.
That
You
would be,
you are so
39
depressing right now, Jim.
39 minutes.
Suck
and
it up.
50 seconds, Jim, in the episode. In case you wanted to mark this to play later when they get 8 wins and I fire up a Morning Star.
Yeah, I
No,
don't.
I hope-
see it, man. I don't see 7 more wins on that schedule.
I damn sure don't see 10 more because I had plenty of people that had them at 13
Okay,
wins.
people
If they-
people putting this Cowboys team at 13 wins with that schedule were wild.
I'm just saying the season always goes. There's always ebbs and flows of the season. Things happen, injuries happen. Like I said,
Yeah, there's ebbs and
Calm
flows.
down.
1 minute
Hey,
you're the coach of the
no,
year.
this is what I hate though.
Strength, though.
This is what I hate though. You're coming off a loss against the best team in football right now. Okay, in San Francisco.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you've gone from this team being a contender now to being, oh, we're missing the playoffs. Like, stop. Like, are they as good as San Francisco? No, they're not. Okay, are they on a level not better than teams that play on the schedule? Yes.
But
Are
EJ,
Are they?
Yes.
EJ, for those of us who predicted them at 8 games already in August, are you still giving this speech or can I sit this one out?
Say it one more time.
For those of us who predicted 8 wins back in August, are you giving me the speech or can I sit this one out?
No, I'm saying they're better than an 8-win team. I'm sorry.
But are they? You're sitting here saying it. No. You're sitting here saying it as a definitive. The Cowboys have beaten the Giants, who suck.
Let me
They
ask you a
have
question.
beaten the Patriots, who suck.
Let me ask you a
And you
question.
beat the Jets the first week with Zach Wilson,
Let me ask you a question. Okay.
right?
First of all,
No, Jim.
no.
Wait.
EJ,
Go ahead, Kyle.
take this compliment.
No, go ahead,
That
Kyle.
is
Go
the
ahead.
best Trump impression I've heard by a black man ever. Continue.
That's true. I'll give him respect on that.
No. If the Niners are beating the Cowboys by say like by a touchdown or by 3 points, do you feel this way also going into week 6?
I don't feel this way after that game. Like, losing to the 49ers isn't the problem. It's how they lost to the 49ers. That's the problem.
So wait, actually, I think that's kind of the crux of EJ's question. If they were at least competitive, that doesn't change your.
Is that what you were asking?
Yes.
Oh, I misunderstood the question. No, if it would have been a close game, then I don't feel as bad about the rest of the season.
Instead, it was an absolute spanking, and
Right.
frankly, yeah.
Because
But
it
can
shows
we-
this
but can we-
team's not anywhere close to where they
But
need to.
can we agree that San Francisco, to me the win there last on Sunday was a credit to how good San Francisco is at this point now. I look at it more as a San Fran.
Again,
They're not good right now.
As
to me,
as the Niner homer in the room,
Mhm.
actually, no. A meltdown like that is not just the good of one side. It is also exposing how low the other side is. Dakota Prescott is not what he was. The injuries have caught up to him. He is not mobile enough to be the Dakota Prescott we know and love, who we've always kind of just said just because that he's a top 10 player.
Right.
That ain't it. They don't have the weapons on offense. They don't have their defense is good, but there's some coaching issues. Like, for one, as Shannon Sharp pointed out, challenging Trent Williams with Micah Parsons every down was a blunder.
that was
Okay.
a blunder. I agree with you on that
They
one.
were outcoached. They were outplayed. They were also exposed to not be what everyone else that's not the student of the game, Kyle Nash, thought they were.
Right.
We agree if we're talking about them, compare them to the San Frans, the Phillies, the KCs. Yes, I agree with you on that.
Oh, you mean actual Super Bowl contenders? Yes,
Right.
Here's the thing about it is the Rams lost by what, 7 or 8 to the 49ers.
10. Well, no, 7 by last
They
field
lost
goal.
by
Right.
7. It was also
That's a field goal.
it was also a was it a Thursday night game? No,
No,
but
it was Sunday game. Sunday
and
afternoon
anyway,
game.
continue.
The Giants game score-wise was at least close in the third quarter. The Cardinals game was close at the end of the third quarter. The Cowboys game was close at the end of the national anthem.
It was
Like-
14-7 second quarter. Then they will win.
Jim, that's a fair point. As much as I kind of protest with some of your Niner shit talk, it's I see where you're getting at, and it's a good point.
That's the problem for me, and that's why coming out of this game, I feel about this team the way I do, because again, this was the game that was circled all year, ever since they lost that playoff game. Well, Pollard got hurt, and this guy was hurt, and this guy was out, and now we added Cooks, and we did this, and Pollard's our running back, and all of our offensive linemen are healthy, and we got these pieces on defense, and we changed the offensive game plan, and this is what we did all of that stuff for. And you didn't even get into the same stadium. And you didn't even get into the same stadium with the Arizona Cardinals 2 weeks ago. Like, there are dramatic problems with this team, man. And now you lose Van Der Esch for a month or more with the neck injury. Like, you're looking at a ton of veteran and whatever the hell options there.
Micah got nicked up too, not for nothing.
I mean, he's been nicked up all year. You know, it's more about the game within the game that troubles me with this team. It's not the loss. The Cowboys losing to the 49ers. Like, of course, I'm on this show. I'm on with Kyle last week. I'm picking the Cowboys. Of course I am. I'm not going to not pick my team in the biggest game of the year. Like, I'm not like you're never going to see me do that.
I picked against the 49ers. How much of a homer can I be? Anyways, continue.
But like,
I've not done it this season, but that's
right. But like, it's the way it happened, man. It's the way it happened that is the problem for me, and tells me this team is not and will not be in its current form anywhere close to where it needs to be, and is not in the conversation with any of the teams near the top of the NFC or the NFL.
The games against the Rams, the games against the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Lions, that will say more to me at this point on this argument than the Eagles and Niners, because to me, you're sitting there saying they're not even a second-tier team anymore. That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
And I disagree.
Here's what I hear. I hear EJ Christian claiming you are making a knee-jerk reaction. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, and you can call it that. I'm not even necessarily going to deny that.
You do it every loss, dude. You do this every single fucking
He
loss,
doesn't
dude.
do it every loss. Relax.
What's this 2 now? This year, Arizona.
Dude. Losing to a team that was accused of tanking going into the year, that's a great reason.
But at this point,
it's not wrong. Then the very next week, you get lambasted by a good team. Jim has 2 severe bouts of trauma he's fighting with. I get it.
A lot of
Both
trauma
of
there,
you
buddy.
are kind of right in your own way in that it's only week 5, but Jim's got a hell of a case here.
Especially with what sits in front of them.
Yeah, stop sitting on the fence, EJ.
Fine. 5-12. Let's go.
Thank you. Because here's the thing, like,
motherfucker.
You big bad, EJ. You
but
big bad.
my point is, like, you know, like you talked about, like at like the start of the season, certain teams have tougher starts, other teams have tougher finishes to the season. We just looked at the Cowboys schedule. The last month and a half on that schedule is the hardest consistent portion of that schedule that they have.
That's a great point. Starting with last
They're
night.
3-2 through the easy part.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They should, like, I mean, let's be honest. They should be 4-1. They should be 4-1, but they're not. Right? They shouldn't have lost to Arizona.
Facts don't care about your feelings, EJ Christian.
So they're already a game behind where they should be, with the hardest part of their schedule still in front of them. Pardon me for not sitting here sniffing roses right now.
First off, why do I care so much? I hate the Cowboys. So
no, you don't.
5-12. Let's fucking go.
No, you don't. You're
I'm here
invested.
defending your team better than you're defending your own team. Jesus Lord.
You're invested, and I love that about you. You
5-12.
understand me. You understand me. That's all I'm saying.
No,
in the words of Dave Chappelle and what Jim did with this segment, gotcha, bitch.
My wife, all we did on Sunday night, my wife and I laughed at fucking Cowboys all night. So
yeah, then did you laugh at how she bet on the Texans when you told her, Natalie? Anyways,
no, she didn't gamble this weekend. Thank God.
2 cents.
Luckily.
You're nothing but a degenerate.
God, coughing like crazy. Oh my God.
Let's go. Swallow your pills, jackass. Let's
that was an hour ago, Jim.
Let's go. Let's go to some pick'ems.
Good God, please.
Good Lord, I've killed EJ enough.
Is this how you feel from the games this weekend? I'm so sorry, Jim. Damn it.
Look, man, it has been beginning Saturday at 1 p.m. It has been a rough few days. Orioles, Notre Dame, Orioles, Cowboys, Phillies, Orioles.
Sounds to me like you're trying to give a bunch of birds the bird. Shall we?
I'm going through one, man.
Yeah.
I'm going through one. Pray for me. Everybody pray.
Toughen up, buddy. Toughen up.
All right. Oh, shut your mouth. I wish I were a Mets fan and I knew I could have just reserved myself.
If I can fucking do it, you can fucking handle it. Okay? All right, guys?
No. Being a Mets fan isn't brave because your season's already over before it starts. You never.
That's my point. That's my point, though.
Kyle.
Toughen up. If I can do it, you can do it.
The joke.
Oh shit.
All right, let's start Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time, ABC. It's number 8, Oregon. They're 5-0. They travel to number 7, Washington. They are 5-0. This is the college game day game. Washington, a 2.5-point home favorite. 67 is your over-under in this one. EJ, we'll start with you.
Game of the week. Give me Washington. They've been the most impressive team in the top 10, really, honestly, consistently throughout the season so far. Give me Washington. They're the sleeping giant of the top 10. Give me Washington to cover. And give me the over as well. Pac-12 football.
All right. Kyle.
I couldn't hear everything Gilmore Girls there said because he's talking so goddamn fast. But the one thing I know he got right is don't bet this game except for one element, the over. By the way, Jim, who is favored in this game? I'm curious.
Washington?
Washington is actually favored.
Yes, 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5, yeah.
Wow. That actually kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
On that strength, as a bettor who would not bet this game, because I don't bet and I'm not a degenerate, I'll take my dude Michael Penix over saying they nix Bo. But Oregon does play some good defense. Let me be clear. So Bo may nix Penix. And then there's all these X's here. Like, I haven't seen this many X's since, EJ Christian was trying to throw shouts at a social media platform. Anyways. Wow.
Dick.
Give me Washington plus and without question. Excuse me, the over. Devin has Oregon
90 over.
90 over
easily. Devin has Oregon and the over.
Good man.
Then we go a series of 3 night games that we're predicting. This one Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time on NBC. Number 10 USC 6-0 travels to number 21 Notre Dame 5-2, and I have no fucking clue how this is the case, but nonetheless, Notre Dame a 2.5-point home favorite. 63 is your over under on this one, Kyle.
Somebody really hates USC's defense. I'm gonna take those points and run. No disrespect, Jim. I was expecting if I got a touchdown, I might take your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's not happening here. That over. Moving on.
I don't think you understand the number of times that I looked at my screen going, "Is that that's a minus? That's a what?"
But you yell at me when I say your team is overrated in the lexicon. Come on, man.
Well, it's because I think you are overly harsh on the ACC, especially this year. But
listen, at the end of the day, the ACC is trash. And if you haven't learned it yet, you should be more angry about your conference loss than you are. But the punchline is this.
Not a conference loss.
But the punchline is this. I will again acknowledge that this is Notre Dame's toughest schedule in some time, and it deserves respect.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. Like, it's more after the way that Notre Dame played on Saturday. I don't see how they're the favorite here. Like, it doesn't add up to me. EJ,
hate USC's defense that much. That's what it is, buddy.
I mean, Notre Dame. But anyway, EJ.
No one's telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you what they're thinking. It's not. The two things can be true at the same time.
No, I can see why they have him as a favorite, because USC for the last couple weeks played fire, and guess what? They will eventually get burned this week. Even Notre Dame to cover and the under.
An angry Notre Dame who's very frustrated about their conference loss.
Exactly.
Sorry, Jim.
What an asshole. Kyle, you're lucky that your
family.
That was the best one, dude. Well done.
It was.
Look,
Yes.
I don't pick against my teams. It's not going to start this week, especially against fucking USC. But I have no clue how Notre Dame. I really don't. Like,
you could have picked them on my behalf as the freak on the show, but now you've opted to favor Trojans. See.
So give me Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame plus 2.5. I will take the under, because regardless of how bad USC's offense is, if Notre Dame's going to win this game, they have to stop Caleb Williams and company. They have the defense to do it, because teams like Arizona State slowed them down a little bit. So, dear God, I hope we can. But at the tail end of 8 straight games and 4 straight weeks of really tough games, it's going to be a tall task. But obviously, I'm taking Notre Dame plus and the under. Devin has Notre Dame and the under as well. All right, then we go 7:30 Eastern time, ABC, coming off of possibly one of the most embarrassing losses in college football history because of the way it happened. Number 25, Miami of Florida, That's you, EJ. The U 4-1. They travel to number 12 North Carolina, who is 5-0. 3.5 is your over under. 57.5. 3.5 home favorite for North Carolina. 57.5 is your over under. EJ.
Fuck the U. Give me the heels, the cover, and give me the under.
Kyle.
Leave it to Jim to be as diabolical as this, to be all like, yeah, Kyle, talk your trash. Pick an ACC game, bitch. I know that's why you did this, and I blame you. However, I would love to blame you, but I would love to go a flutter and call for Cristobal to expose the overrated Tar Heels for what they are. That disaster that happened this past weekend, and I think it was said best by Joel Klatt, is going to wreck this team mentally.
And rightly so.
Yes, no, not rightly so. Horrible move by Cristobal.
I'm saying it will wreck this team, and rightly so.
Well, right. I mean, here's the thing. The point that Joel Klatt made on his podcast, that it will remain in the player's head, pretty much infinitely, or at least till the end of the season, is a real thing. I don't know that they get over this trauma. I would be happy to get this one wrong and have the Tar Heels exposed for what they are. They will not. I have the Heels. I don't care if they're favored or not. They're winning this game. Give me I'll say the over, just because I see a lot of points scored for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, give me North Carolina plus in the over as well. Yeah, I think this one is going to live in infamy for the University of Miami. Devin is North Carolina and the under in this one. And then lastly, another Pac-12 game. We have 8 o'clock Eastern time on Fox. It is number 18 UCLA. They are 4-1, traveling to number 15 Oregon State, who is 5-1 and a 4-point home favorite. 55 is your over-under on this one, Kyle.
If Oregon State wins this football game and doesn't end up in the top 10, it'll be a goddamn crime. With that in mind, I suppose I'm foreseeing that eventuality. And no disrespect to Chip Kelly. I know you've had some woes at the quarterback position. Your defense is phenomenal. You're going to still need to outscore Oregon State. I'm not sure you do. If you do, props to you. Pac-12 law applies. I still have the over, but give me Oregon State overall. Yeah.
All right, EJ.
Yeah, give me Oregon State, definitely, and I definitely see them in the top 10 at some point next week or two. And give me the over as well.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA, like they look like some weeks it looks like they're building something, some weeks it doesn't. This is not going to be one of those weeks where it looks like they're building something. I think Oregon State wins this one pretty easily. Give me them to cover, and it is a Pac-12 primetime game. You definitely give me the over.
So you're trying to say we all love Beaver on this particular game?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
and by the way, and also with USC losing this weekend to Notre Dame, which we predicted, with Oregon losing to Washington this weekend, that should open the door for Oregon State to crack.
Interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
And especially when your Knowles get upset. I'm joking.
Well, and I mean, especially too, to Kyle's point, if what he hopes happens and North Carolina loses, that would be another team ahead of Oregon State that would drop. Yeah, I know they're not in the top 10, but every team that's going to fall below them is, you know, he's
Jim with the smartery. Yes,
I do what I can. All right, that is where we leave the world of college football, and let's jump right into the National Football League. 2 bye weeks this week. We have the Packers and the Steelers on a bye. So hey, Packers fans can't lose this week.
Ooh, shots fired! Damn.
Sorry, not sorry. All right,
I love that comment.
I see what you did there. Let's start Sunday, 1 o'clock on CBS. It is the 3-1 Seahawks off of their bye, traveling to 2-3 Cincinnati, 2.5-point home favorite. 46 is your over/under in this one. Kyle, I'll start with you.
God damn it, you would pick this game. First of all, the opener is don't bet this some Mitch, please. Listen, the play based on history is to go with Joseph Burrow. But there is one element of last week when my good friend Mikey Burns stepped in for me and freaked the bleep out about his Bengals, such as they were. The Joey Burr injury is real. I'm betting against that. against my better judgment, against the fact that I picked them into the Super Bowl. You might say I'm abandoning my Super Bowl pick early, and you'd be absolutely right. I'm not going to say I won't jump back on, but
And rightly so.
And I'm not going to say I won't jump back on later.
No offense, Mike. No offense.
He agrees with you. He had him one spot out of the bottom 5. So I mean, listen, but don't bet this game. But for right now, I have the evil Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. I'm gonna go under this game. I think it'll be pretty dirty.
All right, EJ.
Agree with the under definitely on that, Kyle. But this is first of all, this is the game of the week.
It will be under. I agree with you. Yes.
Right. No, but this is obviously this is game of the week. Number one. This is a
wait. Really?
Oh God, yeah. On the schedule, absolutely. Seattle is trying to form themselves as one of the playoff teams in the NFC. Cincinnati is trying to save their season. This is the last game for the bye week. Cincinnati's season could be on line here.
Ones we're clicking before we, because I hope that's not true. Is
this is the Bengals season right here, pretty much on the line here.
That doesn't make it the game of the week. Anyway,
well, I mean,
continue.
There's a narrative, yeah. But listen,
I'm derailing the show. My bad.
No. Anyway, the point is this: Cincinnati, if they win this game, they're 3-3. I'm feeling good about them going to the bye week, and then they can win some games the rest of the year. So I think Cincinnati
all week last
right, week. Yeah, and you let me down in Tennessee, but whatever, it is what it is. Give me Cincinnati to win this game. I think they see the concern, they see the importance of this game. They win this game, they cover this game. And like I said, I think Cincinnati wins this game. I feel like I still feel like right now, going into this week, that they will win the North still, even with everything that's going on through the first 5 weeks. No one has separated themselves. I mean, Jim and I had a conversation off air about that before we started the show today. I still feel like the Bengals are favorites in the North right now, just because of the fact that no one has separated themselves. At some point, you don't do that. Cincinnati's going to get the shit together by the end of this bye week, and that's it. So, give me Cincinnati win this game and cover. And the
there's only one other possible game that I think would classify as game of the week, but more on that later.
I know which one you're talking about too. And God, you're closer than I thought. EJ, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
Being that it's at home, I'm going to give the edge to Cincinnati here. They looked pretty good last week. Again, this is all going to hinge on Joe Burrow's calf. Like the rest of this season is going to hinge on Joe Burrow's calf. If he can get the ball out, he can protect himself. I think they have to game plan for that, lean into the run game a little bit more. This is a winnable game for them, and to punch right back in a division, that nobody has separated themselves in. And so, give me the Bengals. I'll take the Bengals plus, and I will take I'm going to take an over on that. 46 doesn't feel like a ton of points. Devin has the Bengals and the over as well. Next one, like I said, more on this later. Sunday, 1 o'clock on CBS. I think it is the 3-2 Colts and the 3-2 Jaguars, who are a 4-point home favorite. 46.5 is your over-under on this one. EJ.
This is the game. Like I said, Jags going to finally take control of the division. The Colts have injuries to worry about now with Anthony Richardson out a couple weeks. You have obviously Houston Texans had a chance to keep momentum going last week and didn't do that and losing to the Fraudcons. And then the Titans are up and down Titans. We can't trust them. This is the week the Jags to control the division. So give me the Jags to cover 4 points and give me the over.
All right, Kyle.
See, tell me you're a degenerate that doesn't know anything about the Jaguars without telling me you're a degenerate that doesn't know anything about the Jaguars.
I know they have injuries. I understand that. But
shut up, EJ. You're giving me 4 points on a team who's most injured, where the Colts are strongest. And by the way, Minshew Mania was a thing against the Ravens. You might have remembered that shit. The punchline's this: DeForest Buckner's a goddamn beast, and he's half the reason that the Jags looked as bad as they did. 31-21, they escaped, and I think half the reason they did that was because it was literally Anthony Richardson's first start. Gardner Minshew's going to come in. Minshew Mania is a real thing, and oh, by the way, Uncle Rico's looking for some of that Jaguar revenge, on top of which that same streak that the Jaguars broke, this being their second win in 11 years at Lucas Oil, the Colts have that same problem at Everbank. There are so many football gods things favoring the Colts. Sure, I agree the Jags hold them off, but give me those 4 points. And by the way, take the goddamn under, because this offense hasn't figured it out in Jacksonville. Very quietly, for all we hear about the golden-haired prince that's promised or whatever, thanks to Nick Wright, and rightly so, the defense is the unsung story of this team, and you should read about that on the Jaguar Report, where I pointed that out, not just against the Falcons last week, but also in the win against the Buffalo Bills in England, both of which I called correctly for the record.
EJ, did you pick this one?
I already did. Jaguars.
He did, and
I said what I said.
No. I don't blame you for picking it. That's just a lot of faith in the offense, which I don't have.
I'm just saying they're getting breaks now. Everybody else in the division is struggling. I just think this is where they take off to win the division now.
Zay Jones also questionable, by the way.
Yeah, without knowing any other knowledge about injuries and things, I will still give an edge to the Jaguars at home. I think they win the game. I'm going to take the Colts to cover the 4, though. I think this is going to be a really tight game, and I'm going to take the under because I don't know that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'll take
no faith in the Prince, huh?
Either way, Jonathan Taylor might be making his debut, so there's that to consider as well.
No faith in the Prince, huh, Jim? Okay, cool.
Hey, I will say this in Trevor's defense. This guy has made more throws under pressure that I've seen than a young Aaron Charles Rodgers. The comp right now to what Trevor Lawrence can do is a young Aaron Charles Rodgers, except he has better weapons.
Who's Aaron Charles Rodgers? I know Aaron Charlet.
I see what you did there, Ernest.
Come on. Correct yourself.
I want Charlie Rodgers.
How does Trevor Lawrence feel about ayahuasca, though?
Oh, no. He goes to Waffle House. That's close enough.
Perfect. So he's better in my book. All right. Devin has Jaguars in the over as well.
Dick.
Then we go to EJ's Saints. They are 3-2 and a 1.5 point road favorite. Shut up, bitch. At the 2-3 Texans. This one Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. 41.5 is your over under on this one. Kyle.
Tank Dell is hurt. Their corners have been hurt. And listen, for all the props I've given the Texans, picking them to win 7 games, all that stuff, I don't think this is one of them. And really at the beginning of the year, I thought it might have been. Give Will Anderson credit. I think he'll be in the backfield harassing whoever's slinging passes, assuming Derek Carr is healthy. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I don't think they have enough to cover the weapons in question. I'll submit to the under, I guess, here, but I'm going to take the Saints against my better judgment. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope my Texans pick holds true, that they have just as many wins as the Titans at the end of the year.
All right, very good, EJ.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me Houston. Kyle got me to being a believer in this team a little bit, so I'm going to take Houston on this game.
Oh, hold on! I warned you not to this week, asshole.
I don't care. I bought it a couple weeks ago after you said that they should be top five. And I'm writing
Cena after that.
EJ Stroud, rookie of the year right now.
Don't let Mrs. Christian hear you say that, EJ.
Too late now.
Don't let her hear you say that.
Houston plus
air,
1.
you're tired.
Moreover. Don't run your mouth too much. She might get a text.
I said what I said. Houston plus 1 and give me the under in this game.
Just said bet.
No, you can tell her. She might appreciate that.
Look, man, I like the Texans. I like what they're building. I think the Saints are starting to feel themselves a little bit, especially since Alvin Kamara came back. The offense is starting to look like it's moving a little bit more. I like the Saints over the Texans in this game. I don't know what it means for either team long term. Probably nothing.
It means more to the Saints because it might be a playoff contention game where the Texans will not have that.
Potentially. There you go. So give me the Saints in this one, and I will take I'll take the over as well. Devin has Saints and the under. And lastly, 4:25 on Fox. It is my 4-1 Detroit Lions. They are a 3-point road favorite at the 3-1 off the bye Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 44 is your over under on this one. EJ.
Let's get right with Jim's Lions here. Give me the Lions to cover 3 points and give me the over.
All right, Kyle.
First of all, both you tool bags got it wrong. It's Jim's Frisky Lions.
Oh, they're not frisky. No, they're not F anymore. Remember you decided that.
They never stopped being frisky, bitches. You
also never hear me call them that, so.
Also,
you did last year a few times, and listen, as a man who let 4A and 4B happen, you'll stand there in your rockness and get used to it, you son of a bitch. Anyways,
just stand there in your wrongness and be wrong and get used to
it. He's kind of right, actually. He's kind of right with that.
Whoa,
Joe Buck yourself. To be fair,
you're screwed, Jim. Anyways, no, listen, I didn't hear what Jim gave us the number for how much the Lions are favored.
3.
I'm still picking them anyway. I don't give a damn. The Bucks have only proven that they are a good enough roster that any quarterback can move them on offense. Please see Baker Mayfield and how bad Jameis Winston is. But yeah, with that in mind, in a world where I'm actually having the answer to the question of is Jared Goff an MVP candidate, I have to pick the Lions. Give me the under.
All right, EJ.
I thought I did.
You already go?
Yeah,
I lose track when you guys talk too much.
Jim. I'm sorry I give actual.
I mean, this is a podcast, right? To talk
I
on,
just
right?
don't throw things against. I just don't throw things against the wall for antagonism's sake. Oh wait, let's get to that segment. By the way,
wait, that's not that.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Of course, I'm taking my Lions. Absolutely, I think the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are better than expected. They're also going to look better than expected because this week is one of the creamsicle weeks. But much like the history of those creamsicle jerseys, it's going to be a sucky week for Tampa Bay. Give me the Lions plus and the over. Devin has the Lions and the over.
By the way, A7B in Sports will be present at that Tampa game. By the way, Jim.
But before you go, I know you didn't add us again to the list, but the San Fran Cleveland game this weekend. Sneaky.
Oh my God! Who the hell?
Sneaky upset vibes in that game.
God. Who the hell?
Sneaky upset vibes. Round of the bye week, going out
You're
east.
a basketball guy. I know you get that reference.
Just saying.
Shut up, bitch.
Just saying. Sneaky upset vibes there. Just saying.
He's a wrestling fan. He gets that reference too.
When we make fun of you, this is the shit. Why?
Why?
This is why.
Why? Because upset vibes in that game? Is that why I said that? Is that why?
What? How upset vibes? No. Where's the game being played?
In Cleveland.
That doesn't even fucking matter. If by upset you mean the Niners won't win by 40. Okay, cool. It's in Cleveland.
Okay.
What? Upset vibe.
Is that what I said? I'm picking the Niners to win the game. I'm just saying if that game is
EJ, the only thing you've accomplished is triggering Jim. You're aware of that.
Yeah.
Why do you do this?
How do you bring him back every week, some bitch?
Unreal.
He even has merch in the T-Public store.
Let's go to it.
What in the hell are you doing?
Wow.
I'm trying to
extra white.
I'm trying to evoke the triggered shake.
Yeah. And as you do that, Kyle, look right.
Man, Kyle, that was extra white, my guy.
It was an interpretive dance of you being triggered. Of course it has to look white.
My goodness.
All right.
All right, let's
Stop that response, bitch.
Power rankings, top 10, bottom 5 again, Kyle.
I got it.
Only look at the right side of the screen for now. EJ, read them off for the podcast listeners.
Here we go. Number 28 for the listeners on the podcast. 28, we got the Chicago Bears. 29, the New England Patriots. Damn, we come a long way. 30, the Denver Broncos.
Did that hurt EJ?
I heard here and in diabetes too. 30, the Denver Broncos. 31, the New York fucking Giants, and 32, the Carolina Panthers. Bears move up a little bit, obviously with the win against Washington, who I Florida put them down in the bottom 5-2 as a result.
You should have.
I really should. I honestly was thinking about it. The Pats.
Suspiciously missing this week.
The Pats. I mean, look, they were getting consideration in there, but the Pats the last 2 weeks have been fucking dreadful.
Who's suspiciously missing this week, Jim?
Houston.
Thank you.
They've been gone for 2 weeks though.
I know. It's
3
great.
weeks actually. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, you figured with them losing that you probably would have slipped them.
No. They should have won that game. Be honest, they were up late.
See, Kyle, I told you they the Texans stink.
You're getting good at this, Jim.
I'm on the wagon. I'm on the wagon, but yeah.
By the way, Jim,
apparently,
who's at number 30 again?
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I just want to double check.
I'm sorry. I think the Broncos should have been 32nd. To be quite honest, I don't care if the Panthers are winless.
There's a defense to be made. He's got a point.
The Giants are fucking dreadful. Honestly, the Giants should be number 32. Honestly, maybe I really consider putting them in 32.
Wow.
They're that bad. The offense is fucking dreadful.
I'm so glad we don't have a Giants fan on this panel.
Good
I know,
Lord.
and that is a relief.
I
still have the Bears at 31. I don't care that they won. Like, I really don't. Like, to me, that was more a miracle, and that's and maybe I should have put them higher. Maybe I should have put the Bears at 30 and the Panthers at 31. I have the Giants at 29 because as bad as they are, I still think the other teams are worse. And I put the Commanders at 28.
Okay.
So you can't lose to the Bears and not be in the bottom line.
This is fine work. I have no beef. Yeah, bottom 5 is pretty tight to me.
I mean, here's the thing, EJ. Like we were talking before Kyle jumped on, before we started the show. Like I think there's more bad football than good. So like when you're fighting for the bottom 5 spots, or at least definitely more bad than great. Good can be a muddied descriptor, but I think there's a lot of bad football right now. So determining the bottom 5 is a bit of a challenge, I think.
Some of the schedules are shaking out where like the divisions who are already bad have some really easy schedules too. Like it's friggin' nuts.
Right.
All right, EJ, top 10.
There you go. Number 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks. Number 8, the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, look who came crawling the fuck back.
Yeah. Number 7, Dallas Cowboys. Number 6, Buffalo Bills. 5, the Detroit Lions. Damn, last time I see the Lions in the top 5 of anything. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 1, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to say real quick with the Niners. Like, I understand, and I said in the podcast with Kyle earlier.
Bing.
Yes, the Niners and Eagles are 5-0, but it feels like there's a tier between those two.
Like, he almost had you say the Niners are 1 and the Eagles are 3.
It feels like it's a separation with the Eagles and the Niners. It's like tier 1's the Niners. Boom, by themselves. And then tier 2 goes Eagles and Chiefs. So, anything else? Miami moves up a little bit back to the big win against New York. Detroit continues to surge. Buffalo got nicked down because of the loss in Jacksonville. Dallas, of course, I don't know. We'll talk with Jim in a second about where he has the Cowboys.
They're out of my top 10, but
yeah, the top 10. Again, you're panicking.
There's
Baltimore
admitted bias in that.
It's two straight weeks of trauma that have led him there. Let's just put it
there. I understand that. Seattle didn't really move much. If anything, I think it moved one spot up, I think, maybe from last week.
Them being above the Jaguars is a whole other mistake. More on that later.
The Jags,
I have the Jags at 7 for the record.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Coach.
And it's more because of who's not there.
Yeah, because if you're putting them there instead of the Cowboys, because first of all, who is on your top 10 that isn't the Cowboys?
Jim,
I have the Bucks at 10.
Fuck out.
So,
okay, you're panicking, Jim.
Again, admitted bias, but after what the Cowboys did this week, they don't deserve to be in the top 10.
So last you were here like hell last week, but last week the Bucks were 10.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, they didn't play last week either. But I'm sorry now. The Jags are better than the Buccaneers right now.
Duh.
That's why that happened.
And they're better than the Seahawks. Now,
probably.
Jim poses. Then why the hell are they below them in the stamp? What?
I said probably. I didn't say yes.
No,
probably.
Dude. No. If you're favoring it that much to get to a probably
consider.
Yeah, exactly. That's some fence-sitting bullshit. Stop it. Okay. Anyways, so
what would you change?
The actual top 10 is the Jags are 9, and EJ missubmitted it, and Jim just went with him writing it down wrong. So actually, EJ has the Jags at 9 by his own admission. Where I'm not sure, I'm not prepared to put the Jags ahead of the Ravens, but I can see a case that can be made. If the Jags offense was more consistent, I would agree with you on the Jags at 7. I'm not there yet. They need to handle business and make me feel bad about not picking them to cover the 4 this week before I feel good about the Jags at 7. But other than your 9 and 10 swap, but that was a clerical error, EJ. You weren't really that stupid. So really, your top 10s might be the best this year, considering that.
Oh, interesting. Jim has
that clerical error is the only thing that keeps it from being the best.
You know, I did. There was consideration for the Bengals going back in the top 10 again, but I said, you know what,
too soon.
Too soon. Right. Your point.
So I have the 49ers and the Eagles 1 and 2. I think that's undebatable at this point.
You can make a case that the Chiefs should be 4 instead of 3, but not a big enough one for me to give a damn. I mean, you did struggle against the Vikings. I get it, but
and that's the thing. Like I have the Chiefs at 5, which is probably too low.
Below
my reasoning is because this is multiple weeks of them struggling against mediocre or bad teams.
Right.
So I had the Bills at 2 last week. They lost to the Jags. The London game, travel, weird, whatever. So I only dropped the Bills to 3 and also because of where I moved the Jags up to. I think so it was more reactionary on Jacksonville. I have the Lions at 4 over the Chiefs.
That's fascinating.
I mean, they beat them for one.
No one's complaining.
Yeah, this is just my reasoning. Like, they beat them for one, and like, I think they have shown to look better than the Chiefs have so far.
Like, if they were scheduled to play again, you wouldn't straight up pick the Chiefs like you did in week 1. And I get that.
Correct.
I think that's an adequate discussion. Meanwhile, if I said to you, Jags, like, for example, Jags versus Seahawks, who would you pick?
Jags.
Without fucking hesitation. Notice that, EJ? So anyways, I can.
Why I have the Jags above the Seahawks in my
right, because you're a smart human being, and EJ had a clerical error. I get it.
I have Dolphins at 6, Jags 7, Seahawks 8. I have the Ravens down to 9. I think that was a bad loss. I get it's a division game, blah blah blah, all of that. I don't think the Steelers are that good. I really don't. And I think that's a bad loss. Ravens
that's one of the biggest rivalries in the league, though, Jim.
It is, but at some point,
it's the way they lost.
Like, their receivers can't catch a ball. Their offensive line isn't playing well. Okay. There's some issues for the Ravens. Still a really good team, but they got stuff to figure out. Like I said, should the Cowboys probably be in my 10 right now? Yes, but I'm not putting them in my top 10 after what I saw this week.
And to your credit, Jim, I thought I did I did the game in my head. If the Ravens and Seahawks were playing each other, who would I pick? I can't rule out picking the Seahawks.
This week, I would pick Seattle. This week, I would pick
apparently.
I mean, and again, like, if we're playing that game this week, I would probably take the Bucs over the Cowboys because, depression.
Yes, well, exactly. We're here to keep you from falling off that damn wagon, but
like, EJ, no, I don't think your top 10 is bad. It's obviously it looks different than mine. I do think you have the Jags too low.
Again, the clerical error fixes everything.
Admittedly, with the Chiefs, though, you have number 5, right? Kyle, we have the Chiefs at?
The Chiefs are tricky. If you put them anywhere between 3 and 5, I'm having a lot of trouble fighting it.
Right. So I see it. Go ahead, Jim.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. Is the 49ers are the best team. The Eagles are the second best team. And then there's kind of just like this middle pocket of like Chiefs, Dolphins, Lions, Bills. Like, I think those 4 teams have a case to be 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you have that then you have the 4th tier of, Cowboys, Ravens, Seahawks, Jags. If maybe there's another team that looking at, especially into next week, who may chirp into that category. But like, we're in just kind of this tier system where I don't think any answer with evidence is wrong.
Right. I'm probably giving the Chiefs a lot more credit because of the number 1 in the Super Bowl champions, number 1 for starters. Right. And they have that guy, Patrick Mahomes. So.
If the answer is Patrick LaVon Mahomes II and anyone gets mad at you, they're the problem. Let's be
and here's the thing. Like, will the Chiefs get there? Probably. Well, will they begin to put the pieces together? Probably. They went through similar struggles to start the year last year.
They did. That's true.
So it's not.
They didn't lose to the
Lions. I don't trust them. Again, there's that T word EJ loves. It's not that I don't trust the Chiefs, but if I'm building a list based on what I've seen so far, they haven't shown out. Like, they're struggling against the Vikings. They're struggling against the Jets. They need to be bailed out a couple of times, by some guys in black and white shirts.
Well, I gotta say, you guys mentioned Detroit and Kansas City. Now, Detroit, Kansas City can't see that full strength versus Detroit.
Kansas City isn't really at full strength right now. I mean, because now
they have full strength to start the year, and Detroit beat Kansas City.
I mean, Chris Jones didn't play the game, neither did freaking Kelsey.
The Chris Jones thing is a bigger deal, and Kelsey, I think, is just as limited now as he would have been then. Kelsey is showing that he's 34. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not.
But you can also make an argument that David Montgomery is carving out a role in the Lions offense, and Sam Laporta is quickly, accelerating towards one of the best tight ends in football. And the Lions are probably better now than they were week 1.
Look at this guy, Detroit.
And also, your number 10 team nearly beat them and gave the game away. So there's that.
Well, strange year.
Yeah,
strange year. In other words, you don't know what you're doing. Saying.
I said what I said.
Again, as far as EJ rankings go,
You've seen worse.
Some of your better work this year.
Yeah,
You've seen worse. You've seen worse.
Clerical
Yes,
error.
I don't think we've gotten a genuine good Christ out of Kyle yet this year. So,
oh, good Christ!
First of all, my voice has never been that high. Second,
oh my God,
you've gotten a good Christ. It just hasn't been during the show.
Well, that's true. But EJ, you're making progress. You're making progress.
I try.
All right, let's close up the show as we do each and every week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
What is one thing that will happen this upcoming week? EJ, we'll start with you.
My walk for the week is that the New York Giants will get blown the fuck out again on national TV against Buffalo.
Fence sitter.
I mean,
That was easy.
like, do you have one
It was
that,
so
do you
pathetic.
have one that requires a little bit of thought, or you just
No, I mean this team's so pathetic, man. It's bad. It's
good Lord, boy in blue? You're
embarrassing.
really mailing that one in, dude.
By
Can
the
we flex
way,
this- can we flex this game?
Christian's children, this is what laziness looks like. Okay.
It's a lock.
I mean, my goodness.
Lock it up.
I don't want to hear anything about me being a fence sitter the rest of the year. Kyle.
Again, holy shit. You're right, Jim. I got your back on this one. That was asinine. I
said what I said.
I think Michigan's gonna beat Indiana. Is that a good one, Jim?
Lock it up. That was easy.
There you go. Lock it up.
I'm gonna do it in the name of good measure. I am going to I can't do that because Penn State's playing UMass. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, brutal.
I'm trying to do a game I haven't picked or we haven't already picked. And I'm not brave enough to say that Auburn it brings back a myriad of family gifts, so I can't go there.
Family.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say in prime time, the Kellen Moore revenge game throws Jim into depression for a third straight week.
I mean, I'm still there.
Lock it up.
All right, and then for me, Desmond Ridder will suffer his first career college or NFL home loss when the Red Tails, Commanders beat the Fraud Cons.
Lock it up.
I think you're nuts, but that was a great delivery.
I know. I tried to harness my inner Kyle on that one.
Harness it. Listen, I don't want to know what kind of dreams you have about me if you're using harnesses. Holy shit.
Okay, that's gonna. There's no way to recover from that. I'm gonna do this because then I'll leave the door open for Kyle to do his marathon. But you can follow the show at Huddle Up Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Get our merchandise over at TeePublic. Subscribe on all podcast platforms, YouTube, and the like. But EJ, plug away. Let people know where they can follow you.
All right, on Twitter at EJ7, Urchin Podcast, across all podcast catchers. Like I said, we did a show, Student Game Report with Kyle today. It was an excellent show, as always. Other than that, that's about it. Class dismissed. Let's keep going, Kyle.
All right, Kyle. Plug away, my friend.
Your face is an excellent show. You fucking
Shut up.
What are you doing right now?
Nothing.
You don't even have a catchphrase I can steal. Oh yeah. Anyways, I know. Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Ooh, there you go. Anyways,
How's it go? The Trump.
At any rate, of course, I'm Kyle Nash, the Stream of the Game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG. Find me on Instagram as the same, the SOTG. Check out my writings with the Jaguar Report, the Black and Gold Banneret covering UCF, my work with the 3-point conversion and A7B in sports, as well as the Student of the Game podcast, which you'll find on this very channel streaming, as well as on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. Also on the SOTG Twitch page. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm 40 and I have a Twitch, whatever. 45, 4, whatever. Of course, check out my work. Still take you to the hole. Anyways,
probably better be
7-5. Thank you, G. Stelio. Anyways, of course, check out my work as well on the Duval Dive Friday at 11 a.m. as well on the same channels mentioned. Of course, all of the above are available on the Student of the Game podcast channels on Apple, Spotify, all that other happy stuff. And look out for me this weekend at Everbank Stadium covering the Colts battling the Jaguars. Honor, joy, and privilege, gentlemen. Until then, class dismissed.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank for everybody playing along as you do each and every week. We'll be back next week for more shenanigans and everything else that we do here. But make sure, again, that you subscribe to the show, all podcast platforms, YouTube. You can get us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, at Huddle Up Podcast. You can get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. You can get me at Big Jim Sports. But until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.